And we're back. And just in time for Valentine's Day.
Nope.
Huh?
It was last week.
That's exactly right. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
What?
Drive Away Dolls is a movie that conservatives are going to hate for no particular reason. It's about two lesbian friends, Jamie and Marion, who find themselves on a road trip filled with unexpected twists and turns after they come into possession of a mysterious briefcase mistakenly left in their care by a drive-away manager named Curly.
Don't call me Curly.
This movie was written and directed by Ethan Coen and his wife and editor, Tricia Cook. Joel Coen is not involved with this film, but it does feel like a Coen Brothers comedy. All of the ingredients are there. You have zany characters, a great cast, quirky dialogue, and absurd situations. But it was intended as a B-movie in the vein of Russ Meyer films. And that means this movie has something most Coen Brother films don't have.
You mean coitus?
Yes, there are a lot of sexual elements to the film. It even opens with a sex scene. But it never feels gratuitous. The intimate parts of the movie are just all in good fun. And it's a very sweet movie. At its core, it's basically a romantic comedy. By the way, I read somewhere that most Zoomers don't want any sex scenes in their movies anymore. That sounds a little silly. I mean, when I was a kid, sex was everywhere, and this was considered PG.
Tried everything. The embassy, the German government, the consulate. I just can't bring my wife to orgasm.
Have you tried one of these?
Now, don't get me wrong, not every movie needs sex scenes, because that would be insane. But in some cases, like Drive Away Dolls, it serves a purpose, and it enhances the narrative. So, lighten up a little, kids. Ethan Coen and Tricia Cook wrote this movie as a side project. Cook, who recently came out as gay, wanted to create a lighthearted movie about lesbians without delving into heavy drama. And this movie doesn't focus on the protagonist's sexuality, it just portrays it naturally, as it should be. And I also really like the chemistry between the two actresses. So we have Margaret Qualley, who plays Jamie, and Geraldine Viswanathan, who plays Marion. And that chemistry between them is very important, because without that, this movie would not have worked. Because this is basically a romantic comedy, they're sort of opposites of each other. Jamie is a free spirit, always speaking her mind, and doesn't have a problem with the occasional one-night stand. Marion, however, is a bit more tightly wound, and is certainly not comfortable with casual hookups. You can kind of predict what's going to happen with these two, but this movie is less about where they end up, and more about how they get there. Margaret Qualley is really good in this movie, by the way. She reminded me a little bit of H.I. McDonough, Nicolas Cage's character in Raising Arizona. Just like H.I., she's got a heavy southern accent, but speaks with the same eloquence and poetic flair you'd find in the Coen Brothers movie. And she nails it. She's the best part of this movie by far. Just like in most Coen Brothers movies, the main characters stay pretty grounded, while it's everything around them that gets kind of wacky. For example, there are two henchmen who are sent after them to retrieve the case. There's a funny contrast between their miserable road trip and the experience of the ladies. And I'm not going to tell you what's in the mysterious case, but it has something to do with a little cameo played by Miley Cyrus. The only thing that was a little bit disappointing to me was the cinematography. Because although this movie sounds like a Coen Brothers film, it doesn't look like one. The director of photography for this movie was Ari Wagner, and while she's definitely great at what she does, I was missing some of that maybe Roger Deakins magic when it comes to a script like this. I know the point was to make it look like a B-movie, but none of the shots felt very memorable. Maybe it's just me, but I think with Deakins behind the camera, this movie could have been really something. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, on the contrary, it's a fun movie, and it's really fast paced, it's only 84 minutes, and like I said earlier, it's a sweet little love story with a great cast. So, would I recommend Drive Away Dolls? Yeah, of course, especially since it's Valentine's Day.
Wow, you've had a full day.
See, I told you it was Valentine's Day. I got a card and everything. So, suck on that. Merry Christmas. Wait, what?